Hello and welcome into this special requested video. It's been very long time since I made a requested video, requested build, and I'm really happy to say that I am back. So far I have 3 requested videos for today and tomorrow and maybe the day after. So let's start with today's requested video. I'm quoting here, this is a requested video by Mr. Alex.hdgamer 4 hours ago. He says, "Dude, I would love to see you do a modern SUV, any design you want, but with a carburetor engine. It must be over 100 horsepower, but under 200, and make it decent quality. Hope you like my idea." Well, I like the idea because it's unique. These days everything is just fuel injected because it's more efficient. It saves a lot of fuel. The emissions are very low. It's cheap to run. It's not really expensive like it used to be when it first came out. It's really cheap right now. Everyone knows what they are doing. Anyone can tune them. Anyone can have so much fun with fuel injection. But carbureted engines these days are just for car enthusiasts. You know, for example, in the US. A lot of carbureted V8s, like on the muscle car guys, they love to use. They are actually still using carbureted engines these days because they are easy to work on and they are just more authentic, more classic. And yeah, no more carbureted mass-produced engine. You can't go to a dealership and just buy a carbureted car because, well, it's 2018 and in a month we will go into 2019 and, well, yes, they are not available anywhere. So this is the requested video. Then let's start. I've already built the car, so let's go step by step with the options that I used for this car here. So obviously it's an SUV because that's what you requested. Looks very decent. I've chosen the regular SUV bits to make it look great and to perform great. I mean, look at the front end, very bulky, utilitarian, and looks good, modern, very good. The sides, well, elegant, nothing to say about them. I mean, look, normal door handles, normal side mirrors with integrated indicators. At the roof you have roof racks for cargo, if you want to tie up some cargo over there. This is the rear, modern, elegant, simple, nothing special. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's start with the chassis and the body materials. So the panel materials are made from aluminium or aluminum, whatever you want to call it, which is very modern, very light and safe. Monocoque chassis type, which is, well, it's the most decent chassis you can have these days. Light advanced high strength steel, so it's a very good steel. It will never rust, and it's light, and it's rigid, or it's strong in case of an accident. Let's see, front transverse engine placement, because, well, I'm gonna use a small engine, not really a big one, because it should be, the rules here, this engine should be under 200 horsepower and carbureted, so yeah, you cannot really expect a massive engine. So McPherson strut front suspension, which is cheap, good and reliable at the same time, and it's lightweight. It serves the humanity very well. Let's see, semi-trailing arm rear suspension, because for the same purpose. It's simple. Nothing special about this rear design. It can be comfortable, sporty. It can carry decent amount of weight. It's not bad, and I like to use it in most affordable cars because it's very affordable. Let's see, zero quality chassis. No need to go any higher than this. Moving on. Now the engine. I said to myself, since I'm only limited to 200 horsepower, that means I'm not limited to torque. So I went with a turbocharged engine because with a naturally aspirated carbureted engine, yes, you can get 200 horsepower easy, but the torque will be so low, really low. I mean, even if you tune your engine to be high torque, that means the engine should be big, bulky, heavy. And I said to myself, we have the technology, so why not use it? Because he did not say naturally aspirated or turbocharged, and he did not specify the torque rating. That's why I went a little bit over with the torque, but the horsepower is still under 200. So this is an inline 6 made entirely from aluminium, the block itself. We have 70.5 millimeters on the bore, 94 millimeters on the stroke, which equals a 2202 cc engine, or a 2.2 liter inline 6 engine. The reason that I chose inline 6 over, for example, an inline 4 or inline 5, well, because the inline 6 is really smooth. I mean, really smooth. And yeah, since we are building a carbureted engine, yeah, smoothness will be low. And yeah, that's why I went with an inline 6, because it will keep this smoothness, it will be decent, and it will sound good, it will look good, and yeah, that's why I've chosen it. Aluminium block, as I've mentioned, 2.2 liter, double overhead camshaft with 4 valves per cylinder. So the engine is carbureted, as you can see. It's an old school fuel system design, yes, but the engine is very modern and very smart. This is not a stupid old engine. No, this is not, for example, a dumb old engine. This thing is running with an ECU. There is an ECU actually controlling this engine, as I will demonstrate. So double overhead camshaft, 4 valves per cylinder, aluminium cylinder heads, and yes, I'm using variable valve lift technology on a carbureted engine. So this thing is smart. It can control it will control the camshaft. For example, you will have a low end torque profile, so it will give you a low end torque. It will be efficient. It will drive very smooth and nicely, and when you put your foot hard down and when the RPM starts climbing, it will engage the sporty profile and the engine will produce much more horsepower. It will become a sporty engine, which is good. You will have both worlds in a single engine. So cast iron crankshaft and heavy duty forged connecting rods and forged pistons. I actually don't know why I've chosen heavy duty forged. I mean, I think I can go with cast. No, the RPM won't allow me. So yeah, forged. The same goes for the pistons. Alright, I'm gonna keep using those. So zero quality, as you can see. We have 7.2 to 1 compression ratio. This is a very low compression engine because the carburetor is not really an efficient fuel system, and you can't really push the compression ratio really high and use a turbocharger at the same time on a carbureted engine. Unfortunately, so I had to drop the compression ratio because I want to use 95 octane fuel. I don't want to use 98 because not all countries that you will be selling this car in has 98. So 95 seems the middle child, or the middle option. Let's see, 20 on the cam profile, which is very normal, very low, gives you very good fuel economy, very smoothness, awesome. The VVL profile is 47, not really sporty, but it's still good enough to if you want to use this car or this vehicle in a sporty manner. Yes, you can have the power. Variable valve timing on all cams, plus the VVL. So this thing has VVL and VVT, so you can say it's similar to a VTEC technology. +1 quality on the cam profile, on the camshafts and everything related to them. We have a single turbocharger, ball bearing internals, 319 horsepower supporting intercooler, custom single turbocharger, 43mm on the compressor, 26mm on the turbine, which is a small turbine to spool the turbo very early. The R ratio is maxed out to allow for a good amount of horsepower, so the turbo will spool very early and it will still make very good amount of horsepower, which is perfect. 10 psi of boost, that's the maximum boost you can actually get from a carbureted engine. If I push it a little extra, let me demonstrate. Alright, so as you can see, yes, the engine is knocking because I've pushed the boost a little bit further, but look at this. The fuel system can't cope with the current level of boost, reducing reliability. Try lowering boost pressure. That's why 10.1, that's the maximum you can actually push with a carbureted engine. +1 quality, we have a twin 4-barrel carburetors, which is the best option and the cheapest option, because not the cheapest one. I mean, of course you have 2 barrels and a single barrel, but the cheapest and the good at the same time. The ratio, cheap and cheerful. Yeah, because I really want to use DCOE at first, but it will cost. I mean, it says here it will cost less, but yeah, using only twin carburetors, but to get the most amount of power and torque, you need to use 3 DCOE, 3. Yes, my friends, triple DCOE carburetors, which will cost much more, and I don't want that. Yeah, and also DCOE comes only with performance or race intake. You can't get standard intake with DCOE, so the engine will be loud, and I don't want a loud engine. That's why I went with 4-barrel. Premium 95 octane fuel, perfect. 13.4 is the fuel ratio, which is also good. 92 is the ignition timing, really high ignition timing. It says here the power peak is 8,200, which is not correct. I mean, look at the power peak, it's 6,500 RPM. So the RPM limit is 6,800 plus the equality on the fuel system. We have short cast headers, of course, for the turbo. 2.2-inch exhaust diameter or 57.1 millimeters. High flow 3-way catalytic converters, the best catalytic converter, and twin straight-through mufflers with bypass valves to allow the engine. For example, when you engage sport mode in the car, yes, there is a sport mode. I know the engine is carbureted, but if you engage sport mode, the exhaust valves, these valves will open to allow more air out, and that way you can have the full 199 horsepower. +5 quality to make the exhaust quiet and sporty at the same time, and to allow more air exiting out of it. So the final result is 199.1 horsepower within spec, 204.8 pound-feet of torque. So the engine is torquey, it's powerful, very good. 61.8 points for reliability, and that's very good for a carbureted turbocharged engine. I mean, it's a very unique setup, but it still managed to be very reliable, which is good. You want that. The emissions, well, the emissions, to be honest, are a bit high because, of course, we are using not only a carburetor, we are also using a turbocharger. So yeah, emissions are not really perfect, but 183, I consider it very low for a carbureted engine. I mean, yeah, I mean, because the production year is 2020. 183 is very good for its time, so it's the best carburetor ever. Let's see, noise, the engine is quiet, it's responsive, and it's very smooth. Look, check out the smoothness, 88 points. So the engine is running like a cream pie, which is perfect. Engineering time, production units, yes, the engineering time is a little bit too hard, but a little bit high, but why not? If the engine is perfect, why not? 149 kilograms, 149 kilograms, or 150 actually, so it's pretty decent weight too. So let's fire it up. So this engine is making 121 pound-feet of torque at 900 RPM. Very torquey. So the turbo actually kicks in at, you can say 2000 RPM, 2050, something like this, which is good. Very good engine. Look at those beautiful carburetors, those beautiful camshafts, VVL, VVT forged internals. Very good engine indeed. It's a very unique setup, but it looks good and it sounds very good, and it's very not really efficient. I mean, it's 120.7%, which is extremely good for a carbureted engine, but yeah, it's very acceptable. All right, let's moving on. So I've chosen this 2007 body. I've played with the measures, the events and everything. I've played with them to create this shape. Moving on, I've chosen this looking dark silvery blue looking color, which looks very good. The fixtures are very simple. Those headlights, this grille here, another grille, those two vents, those day running lights, license plate holder. We have wipers, window washers, side mirrors, turbo badge here. Let me adjust this for a moment. Yep. Alright, good. Because this thing is a little bit old school. I'm not gonna design it with a key fob. It will be with a normal key. Or no, because I'm gonna choose premium interior and premium infotainment system, so I think it will get a key fob. So yeah, I'm gonna get the one without a keyhole. Alright, now it's decent. We have a fuel filler cap here, those beautiful tail lights and license plate holder, a rear view camera. We have a parking sensor, as you can see down there. This is the name of the car, the Ramper. The Ramper. There is no E. RAMPR. That's it. We have a rear wiper. We have those roof racks, or whatever they call them, a roof antenna. Those beautiful rims. 4x4 badge here. Yes, it's actually not 4x4, it's actually all-wheel drive, but yeah, it's similar. You see these all the times. Like for example, the Ford Explorer. I think they said they have written 4x4 on it, and it has all-wheel drive, I think. So yeah, tomato. I know all-wheel drive and 4x4 are different. I know that, but you know, tomato. Yeah, people will think this thing has all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. People won't know the difference. Moving on. So yes, we have all-wheel drive transverse, advanced automatic gearbox to make it more comfortable, 8-speed gearbox, which is very modern and very efficient. 213.6 kilometers per hour is the top speed of the transmission and the top speed of the car, the estimated top speed. With the final drive is 6.0 to 1, 48 on the spacing, and gear limited slip differential. 50-50 is the power distribution. Yes, I know the weight distribution is 55, but 50-50 worked the best. Let me remind the game that this thing has all-wheel drive. Alright, here we go. 0 to 108.6 seconds. That's the quickest this thing can go, with a wheel spin of 1.5%. Pretty decent for a road car. Radial hard long life tires, 210 front and rear tire width. Steel rims, pretty normal. 18-inch rims, 750 is the tire diameter. Very big tires. Zero quality. Ventilated front discs with 2 pistons, 375 millimeters. Solid rear disc with a single piston, 310 millimeters. 29 on the pad type. Now, let me share a little secret with you. If you are planning on exporting any car from Automation Game to BeamNG.drive, you will always, if you have the brake temperature app in BeamNG.drive, that it will show you the discs or the drums temperature, right? So they will give you like a little draw or a little shape of a brake disc, for example, and that brake disc sometimes will be solid like this, no grooves, no vents in it, right? And sometimes it will be like slotted or drilled. I'm talking about in BeamNG.drive when you have the brake temperature app. So the secret is the pad type. The type or the material or the design of the brakes. Yes, you will have discs, solid, vented, and carbon, right? These three designs in BeamNG.drive, they will look all the same. There won't be any. There will not be any difference at all between those three when you choose any one of them. Except, of course, when you choose drums, you will have drums in BeamNG.drive. But the secret is, choose anything you want here. Carbon, solid, or carbon ceramic, or ventilated, it's okay. But if you want your brakes in BeamNG.drive to look stock, like stock solid, like this, no vents, no drills, nothing, keep the pad type below 35 or below 30. The pad type. This way, when you go into BeamNG.drive, you will have solid looking brakes, like really normal stock production disc brakes. More than 35, you will have slotted or maybe drilled brake discs, sporty ones. Not racing ones, no, sporty ones. I think all the way maybe to 60. More than 60, they will start to be a racing brakes. That means when you have racing brakes in BeamNG.drive, anytime you will reset the car, those brakes will be warmed up. Because BeamNG.drive will warm the tires, the racing tires and the racing brakes for you to give you that that ready racing car for the track. It will make your car ready for the track. But as a normal road car, when you choose normal pad type, normal discs, that means the car will have cold brake disc like a regular car, and solid ones that will look very realistic. So for a road car, keep it from 0 to 30, more than 30 sports car, more than 60 racing car, in the pad type, without worrying about the brake disc technology. Yeah, because that's irrelevant. Only in automation game it will change the shape, but in BeamNG.drive this will change the shape. Oof. All right, that was a top tip. All right, let's move on. Brake balance. This 59, 41, 29 brake pads, 0 quality. Fully clad under tray, no cooling flaps. 55 on the engine cooling to make the engine cool, to make the car reliable, not overheating or anything. 100 on the brake airflow to make the brakes to cool down quickly. And we have a 5-seater car only. A bench in the middle and 2 seats at the front, and the rear 0 because this is like a cargo bay to put your things in it to make your car more practical. You don't need back seats here because this is not a really fully on SUV. This is just a, you can call it SUV, but not a big one, not a 7-seater or an 8-seater SUV. No, it's a 5-seater one. Premium interior, premium infotainment system, and if you are wondering what comes with the premium package, you can pause the video right now and read it, and you can pause it now and continue reading. Now, the premium infotainment system, you can pause the video right now and read what comes with the premium infotainment system package. 0 quality. Moving on, we have electronic variable power steering, ABS, no traction control. I think automation game, because I've chosen a carbureted engine, automation game will give you only the ABS option. It will not give you like electronic stability control or traction control. No, it will not give you that, only ABS. And it's okay, we have 199 horsepower, so it's not really scary to drive without traction control. Advanced 20s safety equipments, because I mean this is the most supreme and the highest safety equipments ever. You can pause the video right now and read, and you can pause the video right now and read and continue reading what comes with the advanced 20s safety equipments. Moving on, we have progressive springs, gas monotube dampers, semi-active sway bars. Pretty decent for a normal car that that is comfortable and a little bit sporty and very utilitarian. So the front camber is minus 1.4 degrees, minus 0.2 degrees on rear camber. The springs are these, dampers are these, sway bars are these. Oof, my throat's starting to hurt. Alright, let me show you. Now, since this is a utility vehicle, I don't really care about the handling so much. Yes, it's a little bit sporty, 93.3, because I hate on the cars that understeers. I hate understeer. So yeah, it can understeer a little bit, but it will be nice to drive this way, 93. But as you can see, the bump graph here, because I want the rear to carry some load. I mean, look at the rear is 1,204 kilograms. That's the rear max load, and that resulted in a big difference between the front spring rate and the rear spring rate. But let me first fix a problem, which is the rear dampers are hard. Alright, I mean that resulted in a, yeah, alright, that's softer dampers, better ride quality, less sporty, less drivable. Why not? So we have fixed that light, so no warning lights whatsoever. This car is perfect, actually, no warning lights at all. This thing is running like a charm. So this thing right now, as you can see, the graph here, the bump graph, is not really what you call efficient for a sports car. But this is not a sports car. This is a utility vehicle, a sport utility vehicle. So yeah, it's okay to have like those lines to cross between each other this way. But so far, I mean, they are overlapping a little bit. They are next to each others, and then they'll overlap a little bit, yeah, and they will cross here and cross here too. So it's okay. This is a utility vehicle. This is not a handling car, so don't worry if you go over a bump. This thing wasn't designed to take on the Nürburgring, for example. No. 293 is the ride height, 0 quality is the suspension, and this is the final result then. That's the engine, that's the chassis and the body. Now let's go to the market. This thing costs on 0% margin 25,400, which is acceptably cheap. But if we push the margin like 20% to become a $30,000 car, which I think is, I mean, this thing has premium entertainment system, premium interior, so it's not really a rubbish car. It has stitching inside, it has very nice interior, very nice stereo system, or infotainment system. It has a screen inside, parking sensors, a camera, rear view camera, front view camera. So it's a pretty decent car. So even with 30%, I mean $33,000, that's cheap actually. I mean, yes, the power is low, but as a car, it's decent. Look at the drivability, 76.1 points, very drivable. Not really sporty, but it's acceptably sporty. It's acceptably comfort. Actually, it's very comfortable. 37 for a regular car. It's prestigious, which is surprising. It's very safe. It's very practical. It has good utility points. It can go off-road. It's very reliable. It has good environmental resistance point. It can do 23.3 miles to the gallon, US miles to the gallon, which is, in 2018, it's not really good, but for a big SUV, yeah, that's acceptable. That's very acceptable. Emissions are a little bit high, sorry, because of the carburetors. Not bad. Material cost, very not bad. All right, track test or test track. So 214 is the top speed. You can say 8.6 seconds from 0 to 100. Not really quick in the quarter mile, of course. 5.6 degrees roll angle. It's SUV. 0% brake fading, so you can have very much fun. The brakes won't fade. The brakes will never fail you, which is perfect. Let's see, load capacity, acceptably good for a small SUV. It's not really a tow machine, but it can tow 1.7 tons. The weight distribution is a little bit heavier at the front, but it's very good actually for an SUV. It weighs 1,714 kilograms, which is heavy, a little bit heavy, but it's very good. So let's see how much time this thing can score. I'm not gonna go over the full lap. I'm just gonna play it, stop it, and leave it. So 2 minutes 43.50. Yeah, that's a little bit too slow. Let's go to the airfield test track. 1 minute 39.18. Still actually faster than the reasonably, what do they call it? Reasonably, yes, reasonably. Oh my god, sometimes my tongue just failed me. Reasonably. Wow, I'm really bad at this. You know what I mean. The cheap car, the cheap test drive, the cheap car that Top Gear used to put celebrity in it. Yeah, to go around the Top Gear test track. This thing is still actually faster than all of them, which is perfect. 200 horsepower, SUV, comfortable, nice. Alright, now let's move on to the BeamNG.drive and see how this thing will drive. Alright, let's move on. Alright, so we are back in BeamNG.drive, and since this is not really the quickest car ever made here, I'm not gonna bother doing a full lap on the automation test track, because it will take so much time, and well, I have a time limit and this video should be on, I think, in 40 minutes. So yeah, this is the handling circuit in automation test track. We'll do like a couple of laps here and then move on to the gravel circuit or the off-road circuit and test the 4x4 or the all-wheel drive system over there, and call it a day. So let's fire up. Nice sound. Alright, this is drive. Yes, it's automatic. As you can see, it will curve, or it will actually crawl or curve, whatever you want to call it. Alright, let's do a lap. Put it in sport. As you can see, the brakes are solid, as I've mentioned, because the brake pads are below 30. So it's not really a sports car handling performance, but it's not bad. I mean, you push the throttle, it will hook up and it will fly. Very good. this will also test the brakes, the brake performance. So far they are in 40 degrees, which is really cold. Come on, turn. Brakes are good, very good balance. Wow, that's actually very nice. I mean, you can get used to it very quickly. And it's not that slow actually. Alright. Let's go to the gravel circuit. You can drive it actually slowly. It will be an automatic car. Yep. This is the gravel circuit then. Let's see how it will perform. Of course, no traction control or anything, just floor it. Sport mode, there we go. Ah yes, it's automatic, so the gearbox will not shift very high. So I need to plan it. Nice. Wow. You can absolutely floor it anywhere. And it copes very nicely. I'm not really scared to drive it at all. The engine is really torquey, really torquey. And this suspension is actually working very well. It's actually fun to drive. I mean, of course, the automatic gearbox spoils the fun, but I mean, on slow corners, put it in second and job done. Very nice. Wow, it's actually a very nice car. I'm actually very impressed by this car. Really impressed. Alright, let's take a short economical drive to the automation test track, because yes, I'm gonna test over there. I'm really excited to test this beast over there. At first I thought this thing will be a slow car, but this thing actually is a quick car. Look at it, driving economically. This is 7th gear, 6th gear right now. Seventh gear. Eighth gear. Very good. Suspension is really nice. It's not really super soft and it's not really super hard. It's a little bit softy to the soft side, but it's in a good one. In a good way. So let's do a lap. Alright, let's see. Here we go. Look at those beautiful headlights. Okay. 3, 2, 1. I mean, we are using hard long life tires and they feel grippy. Wow, it's actually quick. I'm very, very impressed. I mean, of course, it's not really super quick like a supercar or a sports car, but this thing is not slow at all. This thing can get up to speed very, very quickly. Let's see in a straight line. Alright. Wow, I'm genuinely impressed by this car. This carbureted engine actually worked really, really nice. 180. Wow. This thing can actually turn that corner at a speed of 170 in a normal car, and this thing doesn't have any kind of downforce, nothing, no aerodynamics whatsoever. Only a fully clad under tray. That's it. And the brakes are cooled. The brakes are cold. They don't actually overheat at all. They don't fade. Tires are very, very good. I'm genuinely impressed. Look at the brakes. They cool down very quickly. Brake airflow works like a charm. That's how normal cars should be. I mean, if this car is available for sale right now on the market, I will be the first customer to get it. Looks good, drives very, very good. Yes, I know it's old school, it's carbureted, but I mean, the same engine, just switch the carburetors to a fuel injection to get better mileage and more reliability, and job done. This car will be the perfect small SUV. Wow. The perfect normal car. Brake test? Not bad at all. Look, before the line. Absolutely beautiful. And look at the temperature. 170. I mean, we did a full lap on a gravel circuit and on the handling circuit and on the full automation circuit. And this thing actually drove very, very nicely. No problems whatsoever. The brakes are perfect. I'm genuinely impressed. The engine worked very, very good. The torque is very, very good. The handling, the tires are hard, rubbish, long life tires, and they worked very, very nicely. So I'm genuinely impressed. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this build. I know it's a long video and I apologize for making it too long, but I wanted to show you every possible moment and detail. And of course, we need to thank, of course, Mr. Alex.hdgamer for requesting this crazy and unique requested video, which is a modern SUV with an old school carbureted engine. But of course, I made my touches on the engine, like a turbocharger and VVT, VVL, but it's still a very, very nice car. Switch it from carburetors to DFI or even EFI, electronic fuel injection, which is actually a thing you can do. You can switch from carburetors to EFI easily. There are some kits now you can buy, and this engine will transform into an efficient engine, which is absolutely good. Alright, so thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed the video, so don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, get subscribed, share the video if you want to share it, and of course watch my previous videos, and because I've made so many crazy videos, we're actually getting closer to 800 videos. I don't know, is this the 800th one? I need to check it. Yeah. So yes, so far we are at the 800th video, which is really awesome. And I'm really happy for your amazing support, guys, and for your amazing comments. So if you leave your thoughts in the comment section below, what do you think about the ramper? This is the ramper, by the way. So what do you think about it? Tell me what do you think about this machine in the comment section. And if you have a crazy unique request, you can tell me in the comment section, because I'm starting to take requests. So far we did this one, and we have extra 2 to do tomorrow and the day after it. So if you have a requested video, tell me in the comment section below, and I will put you on a schedule to make your video. Alright, so if you like my videos, and if you want to support the channel to make more amazing videos like this one, and even more amazing than this one, the link in the description below for my Patreon page. You can sign up to my Patreon page to download this car and more, not this car only, and other amazing cars, other replicas, and other crazy creations. You can find them all on my Patreon page, the link in the description below. And of course, if you want to add me on Discord or on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever, all the informations are in the description below. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Have an amazing evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time you're watching this video, and goodbye for now, my friends.